We're back with more Terra Invicta. So I paced around my living room, talking out loud to myself. Carly gave me many weird looks, but I figured it all out.
Does she usually?
That's true. So I think in terms of the footprint question, as you guys are doing your last searching around, investigating the surroundings before Anna goes in, you see plenty of footprints, some of which are definitely old. The newest ones, which you're guessing are the ones that are like from the previous group, all go off in different directions. So there's like 3 or 4 pairs of sets of footprints, and they all go off into the jungle in different directions. So it's like they wandered around the middle for a little while and all boop.
I'm assuming there's only 2 sets of footprints because one flies.
There are 3 sets of footprints.
In my mind, it was like, yeah, it's gonna only be 2 sets of footprints, and that's when Dragonborn Jesus was carrying somebody.
Them. Yeah. There are 3 sets of recent footprints.
Inside you, there are 2 wolves and 8 sets of footprints.
Speaking of 2 wolves, that was actually one. It'll come up later. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
If you had been privy to my conversation with myself a little bit ago, that would have, yeah. You see 3 sets of footprints, and they're all roughly the same size. So medium creatures. Yeah, there you go. You basically gathered as much information as you're going to at this point. You've burned all the. Did I give you answers to that?
No, we
okay.
We did the footprints thing, we just burned everything.
So you burn away all of the grass and vegetation and whatever else is covering this thing. It's definitely
now Audryn's getting a good old bird's eye view.
Yes. And it's definitely clear to you, Audryn, that there are supposed to be 2 rings, like 2 rings of obelisks specifically. But you notice some toppled stones that, in near the outer ring of this thing that are weathered away to the point where it literally just looked like they were regular rocks. Like you had no reason to think that they were once ruins of this place as well. But they are. Like there were 2 rings of obelisks. This outer one has been torn down and overgrown. So your guess, Audryn, Arcana-wise, and you might as well roll that now, and I can give you more information.
Okay.
But if you don't,
and I assume since Deli would be helping because she's also trained in it, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Also, am I getting guidance on this, or?
I can guide you on this.
Guidance, yeah.
Yay. All right.
An extra D4.
So can I just point out that...
5.
So can I just point out that the last 3 rolls that Audryn just made, right? He did... let's see, where were they? He did history, which he did with Takwi. He did religion, which he did with Anna, and he did Arcana, which he did with Deli.
Audryn's angels.
Say, also, it still frustrates me immensely that Audryn has better Arcana checks.
I know. Audryn has better your guys' skills than all of you guys have. Like the skills
for longer. I'm a bard. I'll catch up.
Wait, what's Audryn's acrobatics?
No. What I mean is in terms of knowledge skills, right? So Deli's.
Yeah, but look here. The knowledge doesn't really matter much to me.
Okay. I just think it's funny that
Deli, the
arcanist, has less Arcana than Audryn. Anna the monk has less religion than Audryn, and Takwi
about the dancing.
World explorer has less history than Audryn.
Okay, so you know what it is?
I have more strength than Audryn. I'm a barbarian.
Right, of course,
okay,
yeah.
And I'm wiser.
So
and I can dance.
Right? Everybody has their things that they're really, really good at, but it's the stereotypical like shonen thing.
Oh,
with the shonen main character who.
Well, yeah, Audryn is definitely the shonen main character of this anime, 100%. The power of friendship is usually what gets him through. Yeah. Cool. So, Audryn, when you get the bird's eye view and with the Arcana check of 25 here, you know that it looks like at some point in the distant past, the outer ring was toppled intentionally and then made the outer shell of it less magical, right? So there's obviously still the aura that's like going to cause memory loss if you guys step into it, but there was something more powerful at work here. And it's since you now know that this, whatever is going on here, it's a weaker version of something that it used to be.
Hmm.
The iconography itself doesn't really give you any more information. I mean, I don't think any of you speak. Do any of you speak Abyssal?
Yes.
Yeah, Anna says. Yeah.
I do. Yes, I do.
Anna, do you want to make a history check for me?
No,
Take. We also speak.
I also don't.
Oh, you
Can
speak
she
Abyssal? Sorry,
do
I
it?
didn't hear.
Yes, I speak
I'm like,
Abyssal.
she's gonna be better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
make a
like-
history check basically just to like you're just trying to translate any
Could they do it with
scratchings.
advantage since there's two of them?
Yes. Well, does Anna have
well,
history
Anna
trained?
doesn't have history. I don't
No,
I'm
so
not trained.
Take we
Oh,
has
I
to do
just
it by
meant the
himself.
fact they have Abyssal. Okay.
know.
Guidance?
If two of you had Abyssal, then
Guidance.
that would have worked.
Yeah, I
Would be
could
guidance.
say I would have guidance. To
Yeah,
be
yeah.
honest.
Good.
You're asking
Okay.
for
I mean, I don't think that's gonna make much of a difference.
I mean, we could get
It's
to
not. But
16.
yeah. Yeah, with an 11, I mean, you know some of the words, but that's about it, right? And it's not even like a written language technically; it's like hieroglyphics, right? So I mean, it's written, but it's not a phonetic language per se. It's hieroglyphic symbols and things that are hard to decipher, and you know what some of them mean, but you have no idea what they mean in the larger context.
Because I'm not trained in it, and I could not give the help action.
You can make your own
Can I
roll.
make my own roll?
Yes. That is typically the house rule we've had.
Nope.
No.
7 is not going to cut it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just figured I could try.
So you know some of the writing, but it just doesn't come up with anything for you. So, but it seems like you have reached the extent of your knowledge-based skill rolls here. So,
Okay,
Yeah.
what I would like to do in preparation for going in,
Mhm.
since I've seen people like have stuff dropped, is outside of the circle, I would like to like get rid of all of my items.
okay, yeah, just take
To
out
not-
everything except for
like-
clothes.
Yeah, I have my
Yeah.
clothes on and that's all. My hands are their own weapons.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Actually, here's the thing, though. So, do I know any? So, what is the name of the god of chaos? God of chaos that the collectors serve again?
Madoc is his name.
Madoc. Do I know anything about Ikwesu being there also a
Aquense,
god?
or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, Quensu. Yeah, you're right.
Ikwesu,
Being the collector's god.
yeah. No, like because you said Madoc was a god of chaos, but I know Madoc as the god of chaos. So would I know anything about Ikwesu?
You can make a religion check.
Not very good at religion.
Yeah.
But we'll try. Because I almost want to go in instead. 21.
There is no relation between these two figures at all.
But it's still another god of chaos.
But Madoc and this god are completely different, and to the point where even like your understanding of the religion of the collectors, it's almost like this god can't be related in any sense. Like the cosmology that they've presented to you, at least the collectors have presented to you, right? Implies that there wasn't a god of chaos for a while, and it would have overlapped with this dude. Like he should have been the god of chaos during a time where apparently there wasn't one.
So wait, so it's like the way I see it, this guy shouldn't even exist, or Madoc shouldn't even exist.
No, it's not that either of them shouldn't exist. Is that if this guy does exist, him claiming that he's the god of chaos is a hollow thing, right?
So he might. He's
in
not the
terms
god
of
of
in terms
chaos,
of
he just
actual
says he is.
cosmology of the setting, right? Like he's never held. According to a 21 religion check in the context that Deli would understand, he has never held the aspect known as chaos, right? In our cosmology of the setting. As far as the collectors have informed you.
Okay, so he just says he's a god of chaos.
He
not
claims
god
he is
the-
a god of
not-
chaos, but he's not the god of chaos, and he has never been, at least to your understanding.
He's just a chaotic guy.
He's just a chaotic god, right? He's not a god of chaos, he's just a chaotic god.
Their God's a chaotic God. He reigns with no real power.
So what is so? Oh, he said he was the god of trade and what was it? God of bargains, trade, and chaos. So
Bargains, trade,
do I know
war, and chaos.
war? I missed that
Yep.
one. Okay.
And like any god in any pantheon, there's going to be several different aspects that they claim for themselves, and there's different stories that imply that they have power over these different things. So
Okay, because I was thinking maybe since get Deli is a chaotic person, that
yeah.
she would be the one to be the one to talk to him, but maybe not if he's not like the god of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
He might relate to her more, but Deli's also not great with the charisma.
Yep.
She's also perfectly fine, letting Anna figure out what happens and maybe come in later.
Sure.
Yeah, because that's I'm like truly like anybody can go in. I'm just volunteering to be the guinea pig to get identify cast on me to hopefully figure out what's going on.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So Anna,
I think our knowledge base is where we'll be. So
Can we secure a rope to her?
Yep.
Oh yeah, we're doing that.
Go ahead and make a
the
sleight of
idea is
hand.
that she's gonna go in, get the pack, and we'll drag her back out. Right.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I think
well,
that's the
we
first
might-
thing at least, right?
I think
Is
we
that
want
would
to
be the
also watch from a distance.
Well,
because-
and we can also see if we could just talk to her too while she's in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not like there's a sound barrier that we're aware of.
Audrey, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. See how well you tie the rope.
And how much rope do we need? Make sure she can go all the way to the
right
center.
to get to all the way to the center. More than you have.
More than
actually.
75 feet.
That's what I've just remembered.
How much do you have, Em and Alyssa? How much do you guys have?
I don't have anything in my inventory, but I think when I started, I took the adventurers pack, which makes me think that I would have 50 feet of rope.
I took the explorers pack.
But let me see.
So 16 on your sleight of hand. The rope is fine. But yeah, you just might not have enough of it. At the very least, it makes sense to tie the rope and have her try to go get the pack first, whether or not you have enough rope to get all the way there.
I don't think the idea is that she goes to the middle anyways. I think the idea is go get the pack, see if she can even come back.
Sure, yeah. Test the aura and see what happens. Yep.
Right.
Cool.
Let me see.
I just want to point out how thankful I am for my bonus my bonus on that slide.
Oh yeah, you rolled a 3.
You rolled a 3.
I rolled a 3.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Wow,
that is incredible.
You think that's funny? You should have seen my earlier sleight of hand roll. I think I rolled a 2.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we would have guided you. I would have guided you too. I just wasn't thinking about it.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay,
I could roll that. You want me to roll that, Caleb?
Yeah, go ahead.
Doesn't matter.
We can assume that's fine. Nice.
20.
Yeah, 20.
That's 20
Yep.
total then.
Nice and tight.
Yeah, too tight.
I
Audrey
would
says,
want to
it's one of
hold
my
the
knots.
rope.
It's not going to come loose in a hurry, and then he pulls it and it just comes all undone.
I would want to hold this rope since I am the strongest.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
okay. So I have nothing else on me. I looked up. I think I would have taken the explorer's pack, so I should have rope. I just don't think I ever added it to my character sheet.
Okay. Yep.
Because it's been irrelevant so far.
So you can get further. So how will you have 50 feet of rope or 25 feet? What do you think?
I would think I would have 50. I think that's what comes in the explorer's pack. It just said hempen rope when I looked it up in roll 20.
Well, yeah, I think
that'll be 50 feet.
then 50 feet is the standard.
50 feet. Yeah.
It's 50 feet. I'm pretty sure it's 50 feet for each.
An
normal
explorer's
hempen
pack
rope.
is 50 feet of hem and rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just looked it up.
Okay.
So that means the total length. It would take. Did you say you have one too?
I do have one too.
Okay, so the total length here is 175 feet. Yep. Which I think at the range you guys are is just barely enough to get to the middle, or at least within the obelisks, right?
So
not to the dead center, but
is my goal before going in to get the pack or to go into the center of the obelisk?
Get the pack first. I think we're just testing the aura real quick.
Okay. My intention is to get the pack and come back out.
Okay.
I hope to see you all soon.
Make a wisdom save.
Okay.
Oh, I should have gone. I have +7 to wisdom.
17?
Nope.
Oh, that's good though.
Yeah. I was
So-
like, it's going to be really high.
Yeah,
What,
it is,
can
yeah.
we say? Will we say I could have? Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
I would have guided
Guidance.
this too.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I probably also would have given her a bardic.
That's fine. Yeah.
Three,
Let's try
20?
to remember that going forward to say beforehand. But yeah,
Yeah, I know. She's just.
Yep.
Yeah. I
so
just rolled
20,
it really fast.
not good enough. You can use your bardic if you'd like.
to D6.
I'm just trying to think if like we
If-
kind of want to
I'll
figure
tell you
out
right
what
now,
this,
it's possible. It's possible
what-
to make the save with the bardic.
I'm just like personally trying to be like, don't we want to see what? Okay, I'll roll it. 23. Yeah, it's going to be a DC 25.
It's a
I'm
25.
assuming.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Anna,
That's a hard save even for me.
everybody else. So you take a couple steps towards the pack, right, and then you just go limp. You're still standing, but it seems like you've lost all interest in the world. We're just seeing this from everybody else's perspective at first, right? Anna just kind of goes limp and just starts looking around passively, and then takes a couple of steps and then like to the left of the pack, not even going towards it at this point, and then just stops, looks down at her feet, looks back up again, takes a couple of other steps in another random direction, and you can tell that it's affected her, and now she's just like lost to the world. What do you do?
I want to
Pull
pull
her
her
in.
back.
Just pull her back?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't even have to pull very hard. She just kind of like takes steps in the direction you're pulling her very slightly, right, as you pull. It's like as if your direction is all she needs to just start moving in that direction. It's like she wants to do the thing that's at the least hard thing to do. And she gets out of the aura and is still affected. So she's just standing there blankly staring at you. And as she's blankly staring at you, we hear Anna's voice, and we starting to hear it, and it's echoing, right? And we're starting to zoom into Anna's face, and we hear Anna just say, "Help! Help! Is anyone there?" And then we zoom in into your like eyeball, and then suddenly we are zooming out of your eye, and everything
Am I
is
trapped in
everything
somewhere?
is inverted, and you are in a like most things in this, you're like in some sort of mirror dimension
Mhm.
of this area, right? So it's a very similar thing, but no overgrowth at all. Like the whole thing and the other obelisks in this version are all up. It's like pristine as it probably was originally created to be. You're still in the clearing. You don't see Takui or Deli or Audrin, but and you don't have the rope tied around you anymore. But you're still standing in the middle of this clearing. It's still jungle, but there is a fog everywhere around you. And the sky has like a weird kind of blackish orangish tint. Like there's like roiling clouds up in the sky, and almost as if there's like bursts of lightning coming from within the clouds and kind of swirling around, but they're all orange. And you feel like a overwhelming kind of oppressive presence. There in the soundtrack we hear just like a long low drone of like the ambience around you, like the roiling clouds and whatever kind of whatever sound this plane just naturally gives off is just kind of like a kind of rumbling. And Anna, so going back to the two wolves analogy, what has just happened is that there are two wolves inside Anna. One is order and one is chaos. Chaos is now in this dimension, right? And order is now in the other dimension. It is back in the real material plane. So Anna's body is just going to kind of like act totally normal, have no real passions or anything. She's not going to be able to respond to anything, but she will go along with whatever you guys order her to do, basically. Anna, you in this mode, you are completely separated from anything that's keeping your psyche stable, right? So
Chaos mode.
that's why you were just kind of screaming into the ether almost immediately. That was your first response, is just to like scream for help, because there's nothing holding your mind from just acting on its first impulse.
I start running around.
You just start, Naruto
Yeah.
running around. Yeah.
Yeah.
And nothing immediately happens. You just keep feeling like it's just like panic is starting to set in on you, and it's becoming more and more present to
Is
you.
there
that,
a
like,
tree I
something's
can
wrong.
climb? I want to try climb a tree.
Yeah, on the edge of the clearing. If you go out,
I'm climbing a tree.
Yeah, you just go climb a tree, right?
Yeah.
So wait, I'm sorry. Is this all in her mind?
This is
or
all in her
she-
mind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it.
So
Yeah.
it is really happening. But like it's almost like she has like astrally projected a part of herself into a different dimension, right? So her spirit or whatever, her chaos spirit is in a different different plane, but her actual body is still there. And Anna, yeah, you can climb the tree, no problem. But it looks very overgrown, like all the tree, like it's kind of weird, right? Like a jungle is already crazily overgrown, just normally. That's what a jungle is, right? But there's something about this that is just so wild, that it's almost impossible to describe rightly. Like it doesn't make sense. And it's not even like from our perspective as the audience, it's not even like the Feywild, right? It's not like life, right? It's chaos. That is what is being personified with this. It's the nothing is keeping the trees from growing all over everything. And it's never anything that's actually going to make the trees grow right. So a lot of the trees are sickly and not working correctly. They're drooping because they're constantly fighting each other for this in a way that's even above and beyond a normal jungle. And as you climb, you kind of notice this stuff, at least in passing, as your mind flits from one thought to another, one emotion to another. You get to the top of, I assume you're like trying to get like a bird's eye view on the place.
A tall view.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception test for me.
Okay. And I did unequip my stone of good luck because I said I did not bring anything with me.
Okay, yeah.
So everything is worse. 8.
Yeah, with an 8, I mean, there's just too much fog and clouds and right, like it's so much of what's around you is the space around you is so cluttered with things and fog and clouds and whatever else that you really can't see beyond the clearing itself. Yeah.
Okay, I jump out of the tree and just try and start to like run in a single direction.
Cool. Sounds good. Which direction do you pick? Just into the jungle you're doing this?
Yeah.
This sounds bad.
That does sound horrible, but we're gonna do it. Sounds great.
Look, this is chaos.
Hey,
uh-huh.
wait.
I
Is
love
this all happening with like an instance? Because
No, it's happening in real time, so we'll cut back and forth.
Okay, yeah.
Audrey was planning on figuring out what was there, and I
Yep.
have dispel magic.
Yep.
So
Give me one moment. Just want to look up something. But yeah, let's cut back to you guys while I'm looking this up. What are you guys doing as Anna's just kind of standing there blankly staring at you?
So- guessing Audrey's immediately doing
Laying on
Identify.
hands and figure out what's going on with this woman.
And you're doing identify.
Yup.
So what does it specifically say here? You learn its proper. What spells are affecting creature through the casting. You learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it. So spells is an interesting word because this is something more primal
This is
than
a spell
that.
Effect.
I'll.
Would I be able to notice anything with detect magic too? Because I'm guessing that's still I'd just be like casting it constantly, or is it probably just still enchantment?
Yeah, it's still
He'd be able to
enchantment
learn more
stuff.
with it. He'd be able to learn more with identify.
I'm trying to figure out if this is an instance where D&D has very specific wording and it's not going to tell you anything. But I think because of the way identify works, it's likely that it can tell you more than just detect magic or whatever. So, I mean, it can tell you the idea, right, of what's happening, Audrin. But I feel like I need you to make an Arcana check to parse it out exactly, right? Because this isn't a normal spell. So you can tell that some sort of astral projection has been cast, right? But to figure out exactly what's going on, you're going to make Arcana, I think.
Okay.
What do you have
Am I gonna
advantage
make that
and
with
stuff?
my-
Yep.
Am I going to make that with Arcana, buddy? Okay. And with the
would we have time to guidance this?
Yeah, that's fine.
Arcana.
Nice.
Ooh,
27.
that's much better.
Go and roll the guidance. So we'll see how you get here.
Okay, 31.
Okay,
Yeah,
we should know everything.
Audra knows exactly what's
Even if
happening.
it was a
Knows all.
D30.
And I think
I
Audrey,
told you, he's the shonen, you know.
it's true. Audrey, you know more than Anna does, right? Because you also know that this is something that's happening to Anna that is... So whether or not... I don't know if Audrey can figure out exactly what the obelisks were originally supposed to do exactly, but based on what you're reading here through Identify, I think you know what actually has happened is that for whatever reason, the obelisks have split Anna's personality and spirit into these two wolves, right? Into the order and the chaos. And because they're so intricately connected, you know, one is completely frenetic and the other is completely docile, right? And you know that what actually probably needs to happen here, like for Anna to break the spell, is trying to think exactly how you would come to understand this. Basically, Anna has to defeat the power of the plane itself in some capacity. Not to like go to the heart of it and destroy the overlord of the plane, but there's she
With
needs
my own bare hands.
It would
She has
really
to
be
overcome the chaos.
Yeah, it would be, but it's really as simple as weakening the dimension itself by like attacking things that are in it, right? So literally if she comes across whatever denizens of the plane, if she just like attacks and kills them, eventually she's going to break free of it. Because the plane itself is what's keeping her tied to it.
She just start punching the ground.
Well, I'm trying to think through this
Stupid grass.
trying to think through this in a cosmological sense. Because that actually
I
might
just
do the
gotta
opposite.
find the chaos wolf and kill him.
Well, yeah, so cause that's not actually do the opposite of what we want. Now that I'm thinking about it, because if the idea is this is a plane of chaos and she has gone to her pure chaos spirit has gone there, she probably has to find some way to have calm or order, right?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like she has to establish some form of order, even
Yeah.
if that's like as simple as like I don't know, watering a plant or something.
I don't think it's as simple. I don't think it's like that. It's more like order versus chaos being like she needs to take control of. Yeah, meditation. Honestly, for a monk would be a perfect thing to do in this situation. Something like that. I think that makes more sense than just because my initial thought was like you get trapped in this dimension, you have to fight your way out of it. But in terms of the actual kind of philosophical thing that's happening here, it makes more sense that Anna has to like react against that sort of reaction.
That initial instinct.
Yeah. So Audryn can guess this. Whether or not you can help her from here, kind of up in the air, like you could try some things, but
I would like to cast message at her.
Okay. Yeah,
and
that
see
might work.
If I can talk to her like in her mind.
Yeah.
I have an idea. Technically, if it's a different plane of existence, we have the candle.
No, do not waste gate on this.
Then we have
I'm not wasting gate on a side quest.
Then we have two Annas. We have crazy Anna.
Yeah,
and
Anna just
chill
Oh my god,
Anna.
it's like Raya all over again.
It is, yeah.
Oh my gosh, then we have Dancer.
That's actually exactly what would happen though. If you opened a portal to that dimension right now, Anna would pop out and she would be two different people, right?
Okay, and then there.
Father
oh my gosh.
Valentine.
And
There
one
would-
goes and
there would
joins the
be-
Blood Sisters, and the other stays
Yes.
at the Order of St. Cuthbert.
I love it. Use
That's
the
actually
gate. Do
exactly
it.
what's happening right now with Anna's psyche, right? Part of her is drawn towards the Blood Sisters, and the other is drawn towards the Order of St. Cuthbert, yeah.
So is the order she establishes dancing?
Yeah. So first off, Takewee, make an Arcana check because you can cast message, but I think there's a trick to
be
this.
able to.
Yeah, to be able to make it work correctly.
And we have
Yeah,
we
you can
have
do advantage.
guidance.
Yeah, advantage and guidance. Go ahead.
Oh my god.
Yikes!
Wow, that sucked. I, mean,
I don't. Yeah,
have
I don't think it's gonna be good
Arcana.
enough
I
even
mean,
with
like, yeah, it's,
14. So you
I mean, I
message
can still
her.
cast it, whether it's gonna reach
Yeah, you
her
message her whatever,
there.
but she doesn't hear it. Right. Maybe Anna hears some sort of distant echoing, but it doesn't. It's not intelligible. to her.
Anna, you have to be calm.
Yeah.
Okay. I might have a thought that's a bit of a stretch here. Is
Yes.
there an element of chaos to illusions?
Not inherently.
Okay. I was wondering if there was some way.
I don't think
that-
any of the like spell schools line up with an alignment at all.
Right.
Even
But I was
necromancy,
just-
right? It's not exactly evil per se. in
Right.
the rules of D&D.
Well, I was thinking if there was maybe a way to use Illusory Script to write something on a sheet of paper, and it says one thing here, but it says the thing that she actually needs to read there. So because the way Illusory Script works, you imbue it with a potent illusion that lasts for the duration. To you and any creatures you designate when you cast a spell, the writing appears normal, written in your hand, and conveys whatever meaning you intended when you wrote the text. To all others, the writing appears as if it were written in an unknown or magical script that's unintelligible. So my thought was if I could because basically there's this double meaning to it, right? There's the thing that. Or there's the thing that's unintelligible that doesn't make sense. And then there's the thing that is intelligible and can be read and makes sense. And finding a way to get the message to her of what she needs to do.
Would that cross
I don't
the
know.
plane though?
I understand what
well,
you're
that-
going
that's-
for,
that's-
but I don't know if there's a way to
Yeah.
do that.
I have one.
If it was
last
Darius,
possible
then I
thing.
could do it, but
Yeah.
We have sending stones.
She didn't take anything with
No,
her.
I
Anna
took nothing but my clothes.
explicitly took them all off.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Why'd we do
Because
that?
The only-
Because I didn't
have-
want to lose anything in there.
What if I like pop it in her ear though?
Like, it's going to work just as well as the message did, right?
yeah.
I have an idea. I don't think it's any good, but I have an idea. But there's another god of there is a god of chaos who could potentially help.
Mhm.
And one of the things also I get for one of the things that can help me in the collectors is worshiping the god of chaos, and I could potentially ask the god of chaos what we do.
Sure. I mean, Deli can make a religion check to pray to the god of chaos if she would like.
It's essentially what I was getting at.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult for you, but
I'm gonna guidance myself.
I would like to help her pray.
Is that can you?
if he has religion trained,
I do.
Yeah.
I don't.
Right.
yeah, I
Like
mean,
he would probably
he can
help
still
you
give you
like,
advantage though.
okay, well, here's what you would do to get the attention of the god of chaos,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he might have read something
Not
about it,
actually
yeah.
praying for
How
you.
Audryn knows this? Who knows? There's a lot of things
Really,
that we don't understand.
the only thing we need to know about Audryn is he's read a book, right?
thing
He just
knows
lives in
things.
the library.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well here
the
goes
library lives within him.
Yes.
19,
Yeah, good thing you had advantage.
23.
23. I think 23 is just good enough to do something at least. So Audryn, you know that the obvious way to get the god of chaos's attention is to do some wild magic while praying, right? There's obviously some sort of ritual that involves doing some sort of random magic.
Okay.
So yeah, Deli, I mean, really, all that you need to do is basically we'll roll on the table, and whatever effect happens. But if you survive, if you don't die from whatever this is, then you get into some sort of contact with them at least.
Okay,
So we're all
back
like
up a
backing
little
up.
bit.
Yeah.
Probably.
Like,
yeah.
back up.
We back up a few feet. We tie a rope around her.
Actually, that's a
Good point. I would get away from the clearing so I don't bump into like the go into there myself.
Yeah. In case it's like, I'm scared of the first person I see, and I run in the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so all magic items within 60 feet of you begin to glow.
Okay. I wasn't expecting explode.
Yeah,
I would be so mad if I purposely
I know.
saved all of my items and then Deli just destroyed them.
That'd be
I
wild.
thought it was
Like,
going to
you
be all
owe
magic
me
items that are near
lot
you.
of gold.
Within how many feet?
60 feet.
Okay, so probably nothing much of note then.
Yeah, nothing else of note happens. Your magic items start to glow. Do you have any magic item, Deli? You have a magic item, right?
I have magic items. Of course I do.
I'm trying to remember which ones you have, though.
Does Deli start to glow?
Oh, you
I
the
have
trident of
a
fish
ring
command.
of mind shielding, a trident of fish
Yeah.
command, a bag of holding, ring of swimming, wand of magic missiles, and a drift globe.
Very nice. Yeah, they all start to glow.
Does Deli start to glow?
Yes,
I was wondering.
I think so.
That is not an item, though.
Yes,
Oh, yes,
but she
I am.
recently swallowed a magic sword that is still actively
And-
affecting her. So
And we still don't really know what's going on inside.
exactly, yeah. So Deli starts to glow. All of her magic items start to glow. And then you probably blink, Deli, and then suddenly you're standing in a study. And you look out the window, and there's just like the void of space is outside, so there's like stars and stuff. But there's a dude standing in front of you. He has blonde hair. He seems like mid-30s or something, maybe early 30s, and he has like a red and gold robe on. And he looks like he was flipping through a book. But he like has set it aside and stood up and faced you, and he's like, "Well, that is interesting. Not the glowing specifically, but whatever's going on inside of you."
Are you Madoc?
Oh, the name's actually Marmaduke. I don't know how that got mixed up, but it's fine.
You're such a good boy.
I don't know enough about it, but I do know that's the name of a character from a
That's
different campaign.
Jared's
It's Jared's character from Monodomini, yeah. He ended up ascending to godhead at the end of the campaign, like he does half of the campaigns we do. So, yeah, but he says that he says I don't know how the name's Marmaduke actually. I don't really know how the names got mixed up, but it's fine. You can call me whatever.
Give me a second writing this down because it's probably going to be relevant. So he thinks I'm interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would just like to point out with the chaos aspect, I really imagine that when he speaks, it's a female voice that's coming out. Just throw that little bit of chaos in.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Well, you know about a Quinsu, I take it.
He frowns. That is a name that has not been uttered around for quite some time.
Well, he has this temple of sorts in the temple called Mkeshi. And one of my friends went in there, and her order and her chaos were split from each other. And I think
Really?
he did it, and we don't know how to get her back.
Fascinating.
I figured since you were the god of chaos, you might know how to do that.
Well, I have to warn you first. Being the god of chaos means that you don't know more than you actually know. Chaos itself is a wild, shifting, ever-changing thing, and every time I have an answer to a question, every time I have a question answered, 5 or 6 more.
Hmm.
5 or 6
Sounds-
more come to my mind.
That sounds about right, given my experience.
Ekwensu is an Igbaye god. You're in Calabar right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, Calabar region anyway. There have been tremors all throughout West Africa recently. And I'm realizing now that one of those tremors has been you. I recognize the vibrations.
Me?
Yes, you are, in a very real sense, chaos.
Is that a bad thing?
Well, I wouldn't be a good god of chaos if I poo-pooed the idea of chaos itself.
That's what I was
But-
hoping you to say.
Chaos needs to be tempered.
I know
Chaos without some semblance of order is destructive, and it will destroy everything in its path. Chaos is a powerful force, but it has to be harnessed and understood, at least in some sense.
that. I'd like to understand myself. That's for sure.
I wish I could help you, but there's much that even I do not know. The one thing I can tell you, though, is Ekwensu is not a god. He is a demon.
Oh,
He has stolen the moniker, weaseled his way into the Igbaye pantheon, just in time to destroy it.
so this
This is 2 campaigns in a row where we've had a demon become a god, essentially. Because there were the cat demons too.
Well, they were trying to become gods, but they didn't actually ever
But-
succeed.
Atabai,
Atabai was a human.
but he wasn't part of the cat demon.
No, he had the cat demons worked for him,
Gotcha. Okay, that's the difference. Okay,
right? But, so in the same way the caretaker had the void dragons, he had the cat demons.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there is helpers. Yeah, so he's like, there are 1,000 demon lords, so it's hard to know exactly which one might have been trying to impersonate Ekwensu, and well, demons are all chaotic, so that doesn't really help us either. I do think the trade thing is a red herring. I don't think this particular demon lord, if he's one of the people on my list, has anything to do with trade. He doesn't care for it at all. It's part of the mythology that grew up around him because of the gift he gave. Wasn't
did-
related.
but the
Oh, that was the pearl.
Yeah, and
Was it
Deli,
a
you
cat?
actually remember, I mean, at this point, you remember the story that Alan told you,
Mhm.
and it seems to line up pretty perfectly with this Ekwensu's gift.
Wait, what was the story he told me again?
So he told you the story of the ancient city of Urthiru, and basically, Urathira, I don't remember what I said. And it was basically the capital of the old Igbaye Empire. Is on an island off the coast. And there was a big old pearl in the center of the city, and it went off and turned everybody into savage creatures, and they all killed each other.
So it was a pearl then.
So yeah, if this is the same mythology, it's the same myth, right? If they're connected, then of course that's the pearl.
So
Yeah.
so she goes,
a pearl.
The shadow pearl.
What are they?
What do you think, Deli? Chaos.
There are 7 of them, and if you gather all 7 of them, you can make a wish on chaos.
No.
But be careful what you wish for. It just might come true in just the wrong way.
They're
And that's how I
chaos.
combined Aladdin and Dragon Ball Z.
They're chaos incarnate.
Yes.
Hmm.
Certain elements have been blocking me recently from learning more about this. These days, many of us learn more with our pawns than on our own. There are rules we have to follow. Checks and balances that if we ignore will cause the destruction of everything. Ekwensu
second.
is a demon, and you must fear him. He is connected to the Shadow Pearls, and the Shadow Pearls, and the collection of Shadow Pearls that have been going out into the world are merely pale reflections of the Shadow Pearl, the Master Pearl.
I'm like going back to the thing, but you collect all 7 chaos pearls, and then you go into what's it called? Chaos control.
that's all
Chaos emeralds.
That's their chaos pearls instead of chaos emeralds,
They're
and there's a
not
master
chaos
pearl
emeralds.
instead of a master emerald.
They're not Chaos Emeralds. I'll tell you that right now. They have
Uh-huh.
nothing in common
Sure.
with Chaos Emeralds.
Okay, so you said Quincy must be feared, avoided. Shadow pearls are
Merely
what?
merely a pale reflection of the Master Pearl.
Okay, sorry, I'm trying to write all this down because this is relevant. So he can only learn through his pawns.
Yeah, it's not saying he can only do it, but he seems to imply that he wants to know more about this, and he probably should know more about this, but he's been blocked at various
So
steps.
he can learn better through other people.
Yeah, so he's basically like, that's one of the reasons that I have the collectors, is because they're usually better at finding out this sort of thing than me just like, being a god trying to learn things. At least in some cases.
I want to help.
You've already been helping, Deli. I didn't realize it at the time, but
I want to help more.
well, just keep doing what you're doing. Figure out what those ruins mean. Find more Shadow Pearls.
Essentially, I want to like check off the thing of like worshiper of Madoc in the collector's
Oh,
guild
I see.
thing.
And
It was,
he
wasn't
seems to,
quite there yet.
as he says this, he seems to like realize what you mean. And he says, "Of course, Deli, I can help you. This thing that is happening to you, that was done to you, I can help you control it and master it. I've had to
Thank you.
control and master chaos for 150 years. I think I know a thing or two."
That would be. That would change my life.
And in a strange way, I think it would change mine. Just remember one thing, Deli. The good qualities of chaos are ones you need to lean into. And you have to understand the good from the bad so that you can lean the right way. Chaos is best when it is flexibility, when it is the ability to see a situation that is outside of your control, and instead of trying to fight it, you merely let it take you along. And you learn something about it and yourself along the way. Don't try to fight the world so hard, Deli. Of course, there will be battles, but when things are most overwhelming, that is the time to let go, to be flexible, to not be so ingrained in your principles is the wrong word, because principles are good. But you can't hold on. Let's put it this way. Expectations are what you should fear. Expectations are like pottery. The tighter you hold them, the more they break apart in your hands. Don't let your expectations as to the way the world should work make you static, unmoving, frozen. You must act. And sometimes you must do so without knowing the consequences of your actions. But doing nothing can be much, much worse.
Be like Link. Break into people's houses and shatter their expectations. Then steal their life savings.
There you go.
Okay, I think Deli heard what she was like. Okay, yeah, okay. So I said,
Okay, I think I know what I need to do. At least
First,
for some things, but not for my friend.
He nods.
she looks at him like, well, like, what do I do?
No, he says, I already gave you the answer. You have to help her to act, to be flexible. But not in a way that will feed the chaos. It is one thing to lose control. It is another thing to understand that you have no control and to accept it.
I'm just trying to think of how Deli can use that to.
She must understand exactly what she can control and what she cannot.
And I guess my out of character, I'm thinking like, okay, I get what he's getting at.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get
Mechanically,
her.
what that means exactly.
And it's like, oh, maybe she said that.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but I don't even know how to find her. She's in a completely different plane of existence.
He smiles. Deli, the place where
Oh.
she is currently is a place where you'll probably do just fine. And then you blink again, and you are right next to Anna.
Which Anna?
The Chaos Anna.
Chaos.
And this is the point where Deli has just had the thing done to her as well, right? It's not that Deli is wholly there. Your Chaos portion has gone to the place in the same way that Anna's has. But in theory, you should be able to control yourself better because this is your life, right? This is all you are.
Question, Caleb.
Yeah.
Am I still hungry?
You are more hungry than you have ever been in your entire life.
Okay, well, that makes sense, actually, come to think of it.
Yeah.
I think at this point, we could end this just as we started, actually. I think at this point, I would turn to Anna and just kind of grab her. Say,
Anna, there you are.
I'm like, I don't even know what I would do
Yeah.
with chaos. Like,
Just like first thing that comes to your mind, really. It's like just impulse.
I would truly probably like slap you or something. Be like, who's here? Like, I haven't seen anybody else here. I'm running through
Anna,
this weird
make an unarmed strike for me.
Okay.
Anna, it's me, Deli.
A 12.
That's a miss.
That misses right. Okay, good.
Excellent.
Yeah, so you swing wildly and Deli dodges that away.
Anna, it's me, Deli.
Oh, why are you here?
To save you. You're lost. It's crazy, I know. But that's okay.
I'm just kind of like, I'm standing still for like the small amount of time that she's with me. And I feel like my big chaos thing is like, I just like need to move. And so like, you can see me like trying to hold back from just like running away from you.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, do whatever you have to do.
It's not about me. Look.
I'm gonna say what happens is probably like Deli like holds on to you and starts like piggybacking on your back or something
Yeah.
like that.
I just start running around with you on my back. This is great.
Look, Anna, I get it. It's crazy here. That's what it's like every day for me. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. You just gotta be okay with it, and then we can go back home. Don't be so stressed out because things are weird.
So the solution to this problem is to not be stressed out.
Well, not exactly.
Yeah, I don't know if
that
that's
per se,
exactly
but
helpful.
let's see how that works.
Okay, so can I wager that the solution is that instead of running around like she's inclined to, she needs to make herself be still.
Well, no, from what I understand, it's like not even that like that she has to run around, but like if she wants to run around, like that's fine. That's kind of how I took it anyway.
Yeah, so I think like probably the thing that Deli you would understand about her current predicament right now, like she's just running around aimlessly, it would be like, why are you running around aimlessly? Just pick a direction. And actually try to go somewhere. Like, obviously, it's a crazy situation, and who knows if you're going to pick the right direction, but you need to pick a direction.
Gotcha. Right? Okay. I was thinking more along the lines of, I get that makes
right, because it's not like it's not embracing the chaos in the sense that like just be as wild as possible. It's just accepting that there are some things you can't control. That's the chaos around you. There are some things you can control. You have to act on those things.
Okay, so
Anna, just stop running around like a crazy person. Just pick. Look, and what
Deli will do is she'll point in the direction where they were. It's like
let's just go over there. I know you want to run around, but let's go here, okay? Just one step at a time.
And Anna, you feel a primal urge to not listen to what Deli says because you're now pure chaos.
Yes. Is there like a save for it?
Sure,
or
yeah,
do
you
I
can
just...
do it. Yeah, that makes sense. Make a wisdom save. Wow, with a 7, I think you fail.
I'm just like...
The other was a crit success.
Yeah, just kind of like back there was not great, so I might as well go anywhere but there.
Mm-hmm. But in a weird way, as long as you pick a direction, you're still kind of doing what you should be doing.
Yes, but anywhere but there is not a single direction.
That's true. So I think this is what we see. Anna, you run off into the jungle. You start like tripping and like stumbling and pressing through the jungle. Eventually, you come to a slight incline. Don't notice it in time and just start rolling down, right? You don't get hurt or anything. It's just like classic scene in a movie where you aren't looking where you're going and suddenly you're at the bottom of a slight cliff and you look around and that's where you are confronted with a tree full of little bat demon things.
No.
And they kind of turn to you guys and swarm and you probably both scream and then we cut there. So you're gonna have to fight some things in here, since you're just kind of wandering around aimlessly. But if you can get that figured out, you might be able to get a hold of yourselves, and then we can figure out what Takui and Audrey are doing in the meantime to try to take control of their side of the situation. But at this point, Deli is also wandering around aimlessly.
Me and Adrian are just playing cards on the other side.
You've tied Deli and Anna together and to a tree, and then are just like.
Oh, I would have thought that
let them figure it out.
They would have sat us down and put cards in our hands, and then just would have like picked a random card every time for us to play.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Takui and Audrey, you can basically tell them what to do, and they'll actually listen to you. So if you just say, "Come over here, sit down." Play cards with us. Yeah.
This is definitely the most calm you've ever seen Deli.
Yeah.
Audrey's like, we really do need to get Anna back. But
this version of Deli's
Deli is,
that's so mean.
It's a new flavor, It's like trying a new dish at a port you haven't been to before.
Yeah, and I think we can see that Deli is kind of like leaned over, like she's like super full. So she's like constantly like patting her stomach, like, oh man, I just had a huge meal.
You suck.
So does Audrey knows that the thing they need to do on the inside, because at first you said that there was like that Anna would need to establish some sort of order.
Yes, and that is still what I'm saying basically, but I think Marmaduke/Madoc had more insight onto specifically how to do that as a chaotic person, right? It's really hard for someone who is like pure chaos to suddenly decide to just be orderly, right? Have order. But it's another thing to say, control the chaos, right? Act on an impulse and just decide that's the impulse I'm acting on and stop going off into all the other directions, right? Go with the flow, go in one place
Yeah.
and be as chaotic as you want in pursuit of that goal, but you have to like actually funnel it somewhere. Which is, that's the more specific piece of advice that Deli has that's more helpful than just be more orderly, right?
Okay.
Be more lawful.
So my thought is, does Audryn understand that there's this kind of dualistic reality in
Deli?
in Anna's life?
Oh,
No,
and
in Anna's
Anna.
life. With
I mean, you
the
can guess that that's what's happening.
happening.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can't guess that.
Okay.
It's just more like the spell has done this to her. I know that much. So
Okay. Okay, here's another question. Does Audryn know that she's been taking dance with the Blood Sisters? And like
Up to
trying to
Anna?
learn that.
it's up to Anna.
You would know I was taking dance, and you would know that I had to kill that guy, but I
Right.
don't think I would have necessarily mentioned the Blood Sisters.
Okay, but I would know that you would be taking dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Audryn would just be like, because they pick up on them being so compliant and everything.
Yep.
I think Audryn would ask for Anna to show off some of the dance skills she's learned.
Okay. Yeah. We see Anna start to like go through, and it's
for me.
it's very different from like the Blood Sisters dancing that she's typically done, right? She's basically doing a kata, right? She's doing a form. Whatever the dance is supposed to look like, this is not it. She's taken the steps of the dance and made it into a rigid, structured form.
She's just going like first position, second position,
Exactly.
third position.
And it looks like a martial arts form, right? But it's originally a dance, but she's interpreting it as a monk would be, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. I honestly think that probably helps, right? I think
See, that's
having her do
kind of
that
what I thought.
is gonna give Anna's advantage on something later. Because her other half is like channeling her order.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, we could probably
What
just
is order Deli like?
yeah. I know. We could probably just stop there. Right as
Well,
we
then we try to feed Deli. It's like Deli. You're
She
usually so
refuses
hungry. You
food.
should- Yeah.
Well, Deli's perfectly fine. She's
you know what? That's what it is. We have like while we're waiting and just kind of letting things happen, we start eating.
Yeah.
And then Deli's like,
shakes her head. I don't want any food. Yeah. Yeah, but I think we like the last thing we see, right, is we saw the hard cut from the like demons attacking Anna and Deli, and then we see Audryn like starting to have Anna walk through this form dance thing, and we see, I think maybe this would be like a flash forward to we'll go back in time when we go to the next session, but we see Anna fighting the demon bat things, and she's doing the exact same motions as her other half is, right, but she's actually using them as martial arts attacks instead of the weird rigid dance thing that's happening. And there's some syncing that's starting to happen there. And we see that starting to do something, and then that's where we end the episode, I think. So
can we get a post-credit scene?
Yeah, sure.
Post-credit scene is because I assume that she's doing is she doing the dance moves and like all the things originally? Is she doing them slowly?
Not like super slowly. Like she's doing them at the exact same pace that the dance is supposed to be done at. It's just that it's all rigid instead of flowing and passionate, right?
But like even Audryn can be like, oh, this seems more like.
You can tell that it's not a martial arts form originally.
Right. So I think Audryn like gets bored and starts to try to like mimic what she's doing.
Perfect. Yeah.
Well, I think the other thing that Audryn and Takewee are going to have to figure out is once they get back, are they going to remember anything?
That will be the trick.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Well, there you go. That's been Terra Invicta for this week. We'll be back next time and continue the little side quest here. I think have some pieces I need to iron out of this, but I do have the general strokes of it figured out. But as we were continuing to add more and more things to what was going on here, I kept like thinking of, oh yeah, this can connect to this and that could connect to this. But now I'm lost in the weeds a little bit again. So I need to prep a little bit for next time, make sure we're going in the right direction. But yeah, first session in a while, we haven't had some combat.
Well, we almost did.
Yeah, it's true.
Twice.
But yeah, we'll pick up next time and fight some demons and try to bring the two wolves back into harmony and see how that works. All right, this has been Terra Invicta. We'll go do an after show now, but for now on the stream, we are out. Anna screams into the distance.